What's going on YouTube? This is Just My Opinion, and today I will be reviewing Calvin Harris's album Funk Wave Bounces Volume 1. This has been kind of pushed off, I've been busy, but I'm here to give you the review. So Calvin Harris is a Scottish DJ and producer who has been around since 2007 making EDM and dance pop anthems, but did not reach international acclaim until around 2011. He put out his single Feel So Close, and he also produced for Rihanna We Found Love, as well as Where Have You Been on her latest album at the time. He put out his album 18 Months in 2012, and that's the album that really put him to the top and brought him international superstardom and made him one of the biggest household names, especially amongst EDM fans and pop fans in general. It's almost impossible to have not heard a Calvin Harris song at this point. If you are unfamiliar with him, you have probably heard one of his songs. He's made hits such as Sweet Nothings, How Deep Is Your Love, Thinking About You, Blame It on the Night, I Need Your Love with Ellie Goulding, Outside with Ellie Goulding, Summer, and This Is What You Came For. All these kind of fit the very formulaic dance pop, dance house type of style. But with this album, he decided to stray away from that and decided to do something completely different, taking a new approach to his production, where most of the production kind of had a tropical funk type of sound and feel with EDM infused in it. And the first single that we got, which is also the first song on the album, Slide, is a perfect example of this. This is a standout track of mine on the album. It's definitely a slower tempo and beat per minute than usual for a Calvin Harris song, but it had some nice pianos in it, some very tropical synths, had some nice funky grooves to it. Throughout the course of this album, we see a bunch of different collaborations together with artists that you would not imagine. For this song, we see Frank Ocean and Migos on the same track together. Frank Ocean, I thought, sounded very good on this song, sounded very smooth, very slick, and he fit the production very well. And I think Migos also contributed very well as well. Then from here we get track number 3, Heat Stroke, and I love this song. This is by far my favorite song on the album, one of my summer anthems of 2017. Love this shit. I thought that the production was just so smooth and so beautiful, the guitars and the pianos blending in all together. Thought it was layered very, very well. Pharrell did an absolutely amazing job on this song with the chorus. Young Thug, who I personally cannot stand as a rapper and as an artist, even he sounded amazing on this song. And for a lot of this song, he wasn't doing his kind of like very mumbly, can't even understand what he's saying, high-pitched vocal performance. He actually was very coherent, and he sounded amazing on this song. The one person who I thought maybe kind of didn't fit was Ariana Grande, but I still think she's an amazing vocalist, and she wasn't featured on this song enough for it to really take away from what is, in my opinion, a great song. Then we get Rollin', which is another great song on this album. Has a neo-soul type sound to it, very smooth and buttery production, has some nice electronic-y swirls, swirly synths in it, some nice keys as well, which I think this song fit Khaled's singing style very, very well, who is a very young and talented new artist coming out that has a lot of soul. I suggest you check him out. Also features Future on it. I actually think that he did pretty well with his vocal performance as well. Didn't sound overly drenched in codeine like he normally does. However, he was still rapping about it. I thought his flow was actually very interesting throughout this song. The way that he was rapping and flowing kind of almost reminded me of like E40. Then from here we get the song Prayers Up, which is one of my least favorite tracks on the album. I think this is one of the songs that kind of didn't really go over that well for me. The production I thought was one of the weakest on the entire album. It was just very clunky sounding, especially with the very clunky pianos. Travis Scott on this song. I've been jumping on the Travis Scott bandwagon now for a little bit over a year. I've just been loving a lot of what he's been putting out as far as his individual work as well as songs that he has been featured on. But this sound and style just did not fit for him at all. Wasn't really feeling it. I think the most interesting and best part of the entire song was the inclusion of DJ A-Track doing some scratching at the end of the track. I thought that was the most interesting part of the entire song. Then from here we get the song Holiday, which is another standout track of mine on the album. Loved this song as well, another summer anthem of 2017. This song right here is a very close second to Heatstroke as far as favorites on the album. I thought that the production on this was great, has a very minimal beachy sense to it with some very nice almost like acid house bass to it. The way that it's all mixed together I thought was great, and it kind of almost gives like this acid trip on the beach type sound and feel to it. All the features were great on it as well. Snoop Dogg absolutely fit like a glove on this type of sound and style. I thought Takeoff from the Migos, I thought his verse was really dope, and I thought John Legend again sounded really, really beautiful on this song as well. With his vocal performance. Overall, just another fantastic song from the album. So then we get the song Skirt on Me, which has another, again, very islandy type feel. Has more of the kind of poppy dance hall type of vibe that a lot of artists have been doing nowadays, most notably Drake, Rihanna. This song features only Nicki Minaj, and for the majority of the track she is auto-tuning, which I actually think that on this song her auto-tuning was good. I thought she was doing a lot of it though, but then for the last third of the song she actually gives us a rap verse, which brings my interest back, and I liked how she kind of incorporated both her singing and her rapping to this song. Gives the pop appeal, gives the hip-hop appeal. Then we get the song Feels, which has been easily Calvin Harris's most popular track on this album thus far. Has had the most success. With the groove and the guitars on this kind of gives me almost like a No Doubt type of sounding song. This sounds like something that No Doubt would have produced like a long time ago, and Katy Perry's vocal performance actually kind of reminded me of Gwen Stefani. I don't know why, I just get that kind of feel from it. Pharrell I thought fit like a glove over this kind of like funk pop sound and style, especially too because he did a lot of this already on Daft Punk's last album. But overall I thought he did a better job on Heatstroke than on this song. Big Sean was also featured on this song, and his performance on it was just kind of it was okay. Then we get the song Faking It, which was a very interesting production style on this one. It still fit that kind of tropical feel, has kind of a clunky bass and nice keys to it, but it varies between kind of like the slower R&B sounding production, and then it picks up into almost like, kind of reminds me of like a 90s dance beat almost. Features Kalani on it, which I thought she sounded great on. This song also featured Lil Yachty, Lil Boat, who I'm not typically a fan. I'm not really a fan of him at all. I don't understand the appeal of him really that much, but I actually think he did a good job on this song. I actually thought he fit. He was hilarious. He was on beat. He had the funniest line easily on this whole album, where he says that he used to put pepperonis on your face and now he thinks of you every time he eats a pizza. I thought that was hilarious. And then finally the last song on this album is Hard to Love, which is probably the slowest tempoed song on the entire album. Has some nice guitars and real live instrumentation in it from Calvin Harris, who actually did a good amount of the real-time instrumentation on this album as well, and it shows that he's very talented and a very not just a one-dimensional producer. He is multi-talented and a multi-instrumentalist. I think he highlighted that well on this album. If this song featured Jessie Reyez, who I've honestly never heard of before. She sounded good on it. I just think that this is one of the more boring songs and kind of a boring way to close the album off. I think it would have been nicer to hear maybe a more up-tempo song to close the album off. So overall, in conclusion, I really like the stylistic change and the new approach that Calvin Harris took with this album. It really showed off his versatility as a producer and also a multi-instrumentalist, and I think that he could definitely venture off and do a lot more different things in his music now that he's kind of taken this new creative approach and tried something different, and it's been panning out for him. I thought most of the features are good, production as a whole was good. I just think overall a majority of the songs on this album were very hit or miss. Calvin Harris, if you're watching, I have some suggestions for some collaborations that I would like to see on Funk Wave Bounces Volume 2 if you were ever to do one. Bruno Mars, Anderson .Paak, Lana Del Rey, Rihanna, Chance the Rapper, Justin Bieber, Childish Gambino, Wiz Khalifa, Kendrick Lamar, Andre 3000, Lil Wayne, Ty Dolla $ign, Daft Punk, CeeLo Green, and kind of just to throw maybe like a legend in there, Sting from The Police. I think he would actually fit this type of sound and style very well. So overall, I give this a 6 out of 10. Remember, this is just my opinion, and thank you for watching YouTube.
I wanna make it a day, I'll make it a day.